Hi, good evening. We're here in Dunoon tonight, and this is our first ever interview. And we've just come out of a Commonweal meeting here in the Dunoon Borough Hall, and I'm with who?
I am Dr. Craig Dalziel, the Head of Research for Commonweal.
Hi, and what is it you actually do there, Craig?
I'm involved in the core policy team at Commonweal, developing our ideas and policies and researching them, make sure that they are as rigorous as they can be, and then presenting them in sort of publicly accessible form.
And at the core of Commonweal, do you believe that Scotland should be an independent country?
Absolutely. This is one of our core principles now. We were formed out of the energy that came from the Scottish independence movement and the campaign.
Okay, and how do you think that can be accomplished?
Well, one of our big projects is the White Paper project, which is trying to do exactly this. It's trying to break down what we need to do to become an independent country, and also what we need to do after we become an independent country in the form of building up institutions. For example, launching our own currency, launching our own central bank to manage it, rebuilding our civil service because so much of it is currently reserved to Westminster, building a welfare system that works for all of us, and other sort of policies, sort of conventional and radical.
It's very interesting, and I remember Commonweal being actively engaged in NDRF pretty consistently. It was that movement that was just moving forward, and Commonweal was one of at the forefront of this, of bringing Scotland and actually actively engaging and drilling down and getting the kernels that we needed to get to understand what it needs to be a fully functioning country.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's possible we'll get there, and when roughly?
Well, the timescale is always a bit tricky, especially as it's been made a little more vague with the Scottish Government's sort of softening of their stance on the timing of independence. I think we're still going to have to wait at minimum to see what the Brexit deal is going to be for Britain and how it will apply to Scotland and how it will affect Scotland before we can decide if we want to be part of that. Beyond that, we're really going to just have to see just how the UK is developing with the continued austerity and continued inequality, and keep demonstrating that Scotland could be better, Scotland could be different, and this is how. When we do that, and when we start demonstrating that, then the desire for independence will inevitably follow.
Yeah, fantastic. That's good stuff. It's more or less how it has to be. Yeah. And where are you off to next?
Tomorrow we are off to Skye to meet our local Commonweal group there and to engage with them to find out the local issues that particularly affect them. Because as you know, Skye will be in many ways a very similar place to Dunoon, but in many ways a very different place to Dunoon, and certainly a very different place from Glasgow.
And have you found a big difference between the urban and rural Commonweal organisations and how people think about them? Absolutely.
It's one thing to live in an urban area where you can walk across your constituency in half an hour. It's another when you've got to get in the car and drive for an hour and a half to meet your supposedly local council. The issues are night and day, and it's the autonomy of our local groups, their ability to look at their priorities and just get on with the job and do things is their great strength.
Okay, thanks very much, Craig. Appreciate it.